Well, hello, my terrific listeners. This is the first episode of Season 3, so that calls for some celebration. I actually didn't have anything planned involving a celebration, but hey, it's still exciting. So as you know, as we get older, people change, and so does the world around us. As you have probably noticed, this podcast has changed so much from the beginning. And so have I, and maybe, if you have been here a while, so have you. In this brand new season, we have new co-hosts, new guests, new segments, even a new outro. We start this season with a songwriting episode. And between everything that's new, we notice something that we already love. Like, what do you know? That brother of mine has already written us a song. Let's hear that good old brassy intro, Ben. So yeah, welcome back to At Your Level. This is the songwriting episode, and, I don't think I'm quite fit for this topic. I do, however, know someone who is.
Hello, everyone. It's Chloe. Today, I want to dive deep into the depths of songwriting. I'd like to start out with the basic definition to help you understand what songwriting is before I walk you through my process. Songwriting, according to Oxford Languages, is the activity or process of writing popular songs or music. You might be writing an instrumental piece or just some lyrics. Whatever type of songwriting you use or want to explore, they all have one thing in common: inspiration. And in my experience, pain. Life can't always be perfect, and when hard things happen, I find songwriting therapeutic because there's really no strict rules to it, and all of the broken pieces become mended and shaped in a song. When it comes to songwriting, you could be sitting doing nothing in your room, and suddenly, like a surprise party, a lyric, beat, or title of a song might suddenly pop out of nowhere. Surprise! This is the time for action. Write down that idea, or at least the concept, or hum the beat into voice memos. In my experience, songs are at their best when fresh off the plate, because if you don't grasp as much of the original idea as possible, your song will quickly fade away like a warm fire that burned out too soon. Here's something to try. Write a word, any word that is inspiring you right now. Anything at all that just hits you. Write it down on a piece of paper. Create different lines or branches around the word and start creating ideas surrounding that one inspiring word of yours. My word is jealousy. My first branch reads, jealousy is a person. I then branch off from the first branch and write how jealousy would look or sound. Then I might branch out elsewhere and write what words sound like jealousy or analogies, a comparison between two things of jealousy, like hard as a rock but fragile like glass. Maybe even another analogy having to do with a window or glass. Again, in songwriting, explore deeper. Make jealousy something no one's ever seen, noticed, or understood in the same way. Another important step is vulnerability. That may be the hardest truth to songwriting. Be vulnerable with everything. Your voice, words. I have a treat before I go. I am going to actually sing a song using some ideas about jealousy. I'm walking and waiting for someone to hear a sound. The deserts are endless, but all I see is gold all around. Try to touch it, burns my skin. Green with envy, yet fragile like glass. Wants to hide but cannot pass the wall of shame. 'Cause it's written in my own name. Why did they call me jealousy? I wish everybody didn't see right through me, waving a hand to say hello. But the moment is gone when I forget I loved you the most. Suddenly I wanna hide in my house. I'd rather stay inside than let you see me out in the rain, wondering why the sun just went away.
It's time for Bizarre ASMR.
Ari, why are you whispering?
Well, I'm currently trying to channel my inner Bizarre ASMR segment so that sounds more like it used to.
Okay then. I'm gonna be honest here. That's pretty weird.
Bizarre maybe?
Haha, I see what you did there. And I don't like it. Anyways, I'll take it from here. Hi everyone, I'm Swara. I'd say it's about time for Bizarre ASMR, the segment where we play you a sound and you guess what it is. As always, the hint is in the episode's title, which in this case is songwriting. Here it is. Ready? I'll play it for you. So, what do you think that ASMR was? Any guesses? The answer is. Okay, ready? It's a metronome. A metronome is a device that produces a click at whatever beats per second you set it to. It helps musicians stay on beat.
I am so excited to share this interview with you. Do you have any favorite songs from when you were little that always put you in a goofy mood? Both my brother and I grew up bouncing about to this singer-songwriter, and it is a huge get for me personally and also for my mom, who never knows the lyrics to any songs but still remembers all the words to these songs. Good job, Emma. It's funny, we actually think Laurie Berkner, that's our guest by the way, inspired our love for music early on, and when we were trying to come up with cat and dog songs for you to guess in the Cats vs. Dogs episode, we remembered this one. What do you think? Does it feel like a cat or a dog song? So without further ado, welcome our very special guest.
Okay,
Thank
here we
you.
go.
Okay, so can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Laurie Berkner, and I'm a children's songwriter and performer. I have books out and have written songs for musicals and do videos and just like to connect with kids in any way I can, especially through music.
Okay, so when did you write your first song?
So the first song I ever wrote happened when I was living in West Africa. I had taken a year off during college, and it was the first time that I allowed myself to think of myself as a musician. So I started writing there, but that was not kids songs. That was just something I was sort of doing to explore what it felt like to write. And when I got back, after I started working as a preschool music teacher, I wrote my first kid song, which I think was We Are the Dinosaurs. And that's the one I remember. So I had been singing, I think it was Old MacDonald, and I remember the kids saying to me, "That's a baby song. We know that song. We sing it all the time. Let's sing something else." So I asked them what they wanted to sing about, and one kid said, "Dinosaurs." And then the rest of them went, "Yeah, dinosaurs, dinosaurs." And I said, "All right, great, everybody, get up. We're going to be dinosaurs." And I started marching and playing in a minor key, which seemed like big and dinosaur-y to me. and they loved it. And what was interesting was that I didn't write it down. I just played it. I played whatever I could think of that day. And then when I saw those same kids for music class again, I think I was seeing them twice during the week, they all asked me to play the song again, and I couldn't actually remember how it went. But I remembered that I had been marching and that it was in a minor key. So I tried that again, and eventually I just kept kind of singing whatever I could remember, and it became We Are the Dinosaurs.
Okay. So why did you decide to sing for younger audiences?
I think mostly because not only did I have more fun doing that than singing what was called adult music, but I could see that the people listening had more fun, it seemed like, when I did that than when I played what was called adult music. When I was playing in cover bands or my own adult songs, playing at a lot of bars late at night, a lot of people kind of not that interested in what was going on, and a lot of people yelling at me to play Freebird, which is a song. Maybe you even know that joke.
I do.
Yeah. I mean, that actually happened to me like multiple times. And when I would go to these birthday parties or music classes, kids and families would yell, play Victor Vito, play Bumblebee. But, they would yell my songs, like honestly. And it was so fun to be able to play music that I had written and see people getting lots of joy out of it. Young kids, the parents who felt free to have fun because they were with kids that they loved. So it was a no-brainer for me.
How do you come up with the lyrics of the song?
Sometimes I just walk around and listen to what kids say. That used to happen a lot when I was a music teacher at preschools, because kids would literally say things like, this 3-year-old looked at me and just said, Laurie, I have a song in my tummy and it wants to come out. So I wrote a song called Song in My Tummy, and that's the first line. I've got a song in my tummy and it wants to come out. I remember one time I was outside. I was literally walking around my neighborhood thinking, I wonder what I should write about. And this wasn't a kid. It was, I think, a father running after his daughter down the street. And he said, I'm going to catch you. You better run. I'm going to catch you. Here I come. And that became the chorus to a song. I just feel like when I hear a melodic or a rhythmic sound to something somebody says, it's a really fun way to start with lyrics. Sometimes I think about things that I liked when I was a kid. Like I have a song recently I wrote called Bubbles, and it's about taking bubble baths. So bubbles in the bath, bubbles in the bath, bubbles in the bathtub. It's like fun to say that over and over. That's also why I wrote Victor Vito and Freddie Vasco ate a burrito with Tabasco. I just found it fun to say. And one other thing that I think often helps me with lyrics is just thinking about things that I'm working on in myself, in my own life. Like as an adult, that I wish I had more, that I knew more, that I had learned more when I was a kid, like the song I'm Not Perfect, which is about realizing it's okay not to do things perfectly. It's okay to make mistakes. Or Listen to the Sounds, which I wrote more recently, which is just about like listening to everything that's around us and how good it can feel just to pay attention to those things.
Okay, so what advice would you give to young songwriters?
I think, well, two things come to mind. First thing is make a record of anything that you're thinking about. Whether you're a person who likes to type things into a computer, write them in a notebook, record them on a device, on your phone, on your computer, something. If you have an idea, take a second and just get it down, because you can always go back to those ideas, and those ideas, you never know which one might end up becoming a full-fledged song. You might have already written a song. You write down, you come up with a few lines in your head, you write them down, you go back and look at them later. It's like, oh, that's a whole song already. I think it can be easy to have thoughts and then dismiss them and think, oh, they're not good enough, or they're not, or I'll remember it later, which sometimes that does happen. But I think it's really helpful once something is written down or recorded and you hear it back or you read it back to yourself, it makes it more real. And that was always something that was helpful to me, was just not letting things kind of disappear just because I didn't take a moment to write them down. So I would say, do that and take seriously whatever you are thinking of. Like I have this one song, Pig on Her Head, that literally was because this kid came into the classroom area, or I came into his room. That was it. They were cleaning up from playing with toy animals. And this one kid would not put his toy animal away. He just sat there and stared at me, and I said, okay, Marco, it's time to put the animals away. He just looked at me and he put this pig on his head and just stared at me. And I thought, I could just I could sing about this, or I could get mad at him. I think I'll sing about it. So I started singing about it, and it was just, Marco has a pig on his head. Marco has a pig on his head. Marco has a pig on his head. He keeps it there all day. What does a pig say? Oink, oink, oink. And then every kid wanted to put an animal on their head. And then suddenly we were all singing together. Everyone was making animal sounds. It was great. But then I left that day, and I thought, well, that's not a real song. It was just me making something up. It was just a few words. But they asked for it again the next time they saw me. And so it became a song in my head. And actually, when I went even to record the album that's on, which I think is Buzz Buzz, my second album, I remember thinking, this isn't a real song. But it is a real song. Like, as soon as I recorded it, it became a real song. And when other people hear or see or experience whatever you have inside of you, if you're willing, if you like take the risk to write it down or to share it with other people, that makes it so much more real. And then, of course, you're really giving. It's a gift. Like, you're really giving something to other people when you share those ideas that you have inside of yourself. So, maybe that's my main thing, is like, bother to write it and take it seriously, and don't forget to share it.
Welcome to our new segment, Rats, Rats, Rats. It's the segment where we ask you kids a question about something that is a little underestimated or misunderstood, like rats. Highly underrated in my book.
Yes, the roll call and website worked. Thank you to all of you that played along and gave us your answers.
We're going to play some of your answers soon, but first, here's how we use them. You'll be hearing the voices of Ari, Chloe, me, Swara, and our producer, Tal, Ari's mom.
So, let's play a little game. Rats, and rats. The top 10 answers are on the board for this songwriting episode. We asked 100 kids, what instrument do you think is underestimated or misunderstood?
Clarinet.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Violin.
That did not make it to the top. Chloe?
I'm gonna guess maybe trombone.
There were 5 kids that said the trombone.
Yay!
Okay. Baby piano.
What's a baby piano?
Yes.
6 kids said piano.
Wait, what even is that?
I knew it.
Hold up.
That's
Hold up.
odd.
What even is a baby piano?
It's a small piano. That's
Right.
literally all it is. It's a lot.
There were 6 different kids that said piano. So I think your friend Max said baby piano. Which is like,
I did
yes,
say
it
baby
is
piano.
correct.
I don't know if this is actually that underestimated, but I think some people might think so. Guitar?
That's our number 9 answer. 3 votes.
What I thought, yeah.
Who wants to go next?
Oh,
Ari.
oboe.
Nope, no oboe. Swara, you have a guess?
Yes. Is it the harmonium?
Harmonica.
Nope. We have 6 more answers. Chloe?
Ukulele? Okay.
Wait, I typed an X.
Go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna go with saxophone.
That's the number 1 answer.
Let's go.
Woo! All right, Swara.
I play that saxophone. 2 different types, actually. How is saxophone underrated?
Exactly.
Well,
How is guitar underrated? If anything, it's overrated.
Yeah, I know.
no, this is the answers that kids gave. So it's not like the correct answers. Who else wants to go next? Chloe.
Drums?
Drums, number 2 answer.
Yeah, that's good enough.
I've got another one. I typed an X.
All right, Ari, go.
Wait. I'm trying. Flute.
Aw, dang it. I was about to say X. Flute.
Yeah,
Two.
what is it?
Good job.
Correct.
Yes. You know
I
what
don't know how to
should
make
be
that.
on there? You know what should be on there? Bagpipe.
Yes.
Nobody thinks about those.
Wait,
Yeah,
X.
Go.
Bagpipes.
No.
That's why I said it out loud instead of out, because I knew that kids wouldn't say that.
Oh, xylophone.
That's the number
Yes!
10 answer is the xylophone.
I had a xylophone when I was little.
So we have 2 more answers. I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
I'm going to flip it out. One of them is, and whoever wants to say it first, just yell it out, is a shape.
A square.
Triangle.
Oh, a triangle.
Dang
Those things
it,
that you
I
ding.
was
Like,
almost there in my brain.
We have one more answer on the board.
is it the harmonica?
It's not the harmonica,
Okay.
but it is
That's one reason.
one last
What's
hint.
the
It is very
what's the one that's
small.
like the accordion? The accordion?
Not the accordion.
What's the head?
It is very small.
Oh, wait, I thought we already said this.
No, I said piccolo.
Yes!
What's a piccolo?
It's a little flute that's really high pitched.
That was fun. Did you play along? Thanks again if you gave us your answers. If you wish you had, there's always more things you can record listed on the website. Let's hear what some of you said. I think the most underestimated and misunderstood instrument is, drumroll please, the mouth. It can produce many beautiful noises, and it can sing. If you're in chorus, you know the beauties, because you can do a decrescendo, a crescendo. You can sing many different beautiful sounds, and it's overall an amazing instrument, and it should be considered one. Thank you, and put me on your podcast. Whoever sent that, I agree. What other instrument do you think is underestimated or misunderstood?
It's easy. It's a triangle.
Triangle makes sense. 8 of you thought that. Some of our favorite answers were the banjo, the didgeridoo, marimba, koto, the oboe, and the French horn. Did we get to your answer yet? Take it away, Swara.
Hello there. Did you miss me? The last time you saw me, well, heard me, I was in the embarrassing parents episode. I took the questions we're asking you to the park to see what the people think, and I ended up getting some very interesting and funny answers. Arav, you have left floor.
I think the most underrated instrument is the ukulele because it's fun and nobody likes to play anything fun here.
The most underappreciated instrument is the cello because no one likes it and it's very hard to play, but it sounds nice.
The recorder. It is most commonly mistaken for a flute.
Hello, this is Advait Srinivasan speaking, and I just want to explain that I think the most underrated instrument would be the harmonium, because most people just think that the person who plays it just pulls a few strings for very sad and like low tune songs, which makes it a cliche for sad songs amongst the average population.
Yes, thank you. So, what do you think the most underappreciated instrument is?
Yo, mama!
Children these days, I tell ya.
So for me, it's drums because like a lot of people say that drum is just banging on the drums, but it's not that. It gives like a lot of beat to the song and it also makes the song more beautiful. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sahana, and I think the drums are very underappreciated because people just look at it and think it's bang, bang, bang. But instead, it's actually hard when you do it physically, and it's really hard to make a sound.
Hi, I'm Pihu, and I think the most misunderstood instrument is the piano, because most people think it's really easy, as many know how to play it, but it actually isn't. It takes a load of work, time, and practice. I would know because I learned it.
Hi, my name is Tapishi. I think the most misunderstood instrument would be the violin, since people think it's mostly used to record sad songs, but it can in fact produce very happy tunes as well.
Hi, I'm Sinchana, and I think it's the flute because many people think just blowing some air into the flute is going to get out some great music, but they don't know the person who's playing the flute is actually has years of practice and has a lot of lung capacity, and it actually sometimes hurts because I know how it feels because I tried playing the flute and my lungs bursted.
Okay, that is all you'll be hearing of my wacky friends for now. Don't worry, they will be back.
I don't know if you noticed, but the number one answer was the saxophone. And you won't believe what instrument I play. Yeah, it's the sax. Not only do I play the saxophone, I play bari sax. You know, the big but not giant saxophone that you don't see many kids playing. My brother Ben, as you all know by now, plays the trombone and the tuba, which wasn't even on the list. Talk about underestimated. Here's another recording we got from the phone line.
I believe that the most misunderstood instrument is the trombone. You want to know why? In any band class, everybody always picks the most basic instruments. The trombone is the most forgotten, and it's the favorite instrument of jazz and everywhere. Thank you.
Okay, so before we wrap up this episode, I'm assuming some of you kids listening might be into songwriting, and maybe even dabble in this art form a bit. Ever thought of making an album? Well, we've got a special guest with advice for you. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, this is Dan Sachs, host of Noodle, Loaf.
It's nice to meet you. I know you just put out Echo Songs Volume 2. Congratulations on that, by the way. Can you tell us what the differences and similarities are between writing one song and putting together an entire album?
You know, I'd put it like this. A song is like a funny story that you tell to a friend that you run into while you're on your way to the park. You both have a laugh, you give each other high fives, and then you're on your way. Putting together an album is like planning a sleepover with that same friend. It has lots of parts that are really different, but they fit together in a way that makes sense and, feels good. At a sleepover, you might watch a movie or go for a bike ride or, eat something you love. And some parts might be like wild and nutty, and other parts might be super chill. Some parts might be your favorite thing in the world, and other parts might be kind of frustrating. Albums are like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. So, what's the experience of putting your album out like? I know kids can listen to Noodle Loaf music on many platforms. Can talented kids that want to put together an album do that? And what do you think is the secret sauce for it to be a success?
Putting out an album, it's like spending months working on baking the most delicious cake you can, using all your favorite flavors and decorating it just the way you like, and then you set up a table on the sidewalk, you put your cake on it, and you hope somebody passes by and helps themselves to a slice. If they like it as much as you do, then they'll tell their friends to come and try a slice too. And then you have a bunch of people standing around telling you how good your cake is. And yes, any kid can and should put out an album. In fact, I wish more kids would. It costs a little bit of money to have it show up on all the streaming platforms, but not so much that you can't cover that during a sidewalk cake sale. As for the secret sauce for it to be a success, if you're proud of it, if you made something you love, then that's all the sauce you need.
What was Beethoven's favorite fruit? Give up? It was a banana no. Banana no. And was that a good joke? Banana no. But my job here is done. Bye.
It's time for your favorite segment, Bad Dad.
And that was my dad, by the way. He's wonderful. But oh, the jokes.
I'm excited for this. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Lynn Hickernow, and for a long time, kids and also adults have called me Miss Lynn, and I write and perform music for kids, and I make a podcast for kids called the Good Words Podcast because I love very good words, and I also work on the What If World podcast with Mr. Eric.
Cool. So do you have any good jokes about songwriting that you can share with us?
Well, one of my favorite, you may not think of him as a songwriter, but hear me out, is Ludwig van Beethoven, who you probably know was a classical composer, but, classical compositions are really just songs. Sometimes they're longer than we think of songs being, but
yeah,
they're basically songs.
Yeah, also a lot of jazz has no lyrics too.
One of my favorite Beethoven compositions is the piece that's become known as the Moonlight Sonata. I actually featured it in the very first episode of my Good Words podcast. And this story is about somebody else who also really loved Beethoven.
Oh, cool. So we're getting a story.
And they were visiting Austria. And when they were in Vienna, they went to the cemetery where Beethoven is buried because they're such big fans of his that they just wanted to pay their respects at his grave. And they went to the cemetery, and while they were there, they found Beethoven sitting there next to his tombstone, sitting there on the ground, and he had a bunch of sheet music out in front of him and an eraser, and he was sitting there erasing his compositions from these handwritten manuscripts that he'd written. And this fan of his was completely taken aback, just said, Mr. Beethoven, what are you doing? And Beethoven looked up and said, decomposing.
Yeah.
Get it?
Oh, I get it.
Get it? Because he's dead?
Yep.
He's decomposed. Get it? Ari, are you there?
Definitely there. Just...
Get it?
Yep. That's what this segment is all about. That joke wins the bad dad. The trombone is sad. Okay, want some more bad dad? Laurie Berkner had some bad ones. Okay, so do you have any jokes about songwriting? And it's okay if you don't.
Oh, yes. I don't know if it's actually songwriting, but it's music. Now, you may know these jokes, but I think they're funny, so I'm going to say them. And you can. Okay.
Let's hear it. I'll brace.
Why did the pianist keep banging his head against the keyboard?
Why?
He was playing by ear.
Oh.
That was good, right? I love that one.
Oh,
no. Okay, wait. Here, I have another one for you.
Oh, no.
Why was music coming out of the printer?
Why?
The paper was jamming.
That's a good one. I'll give you that.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Turnip.
Turn up who?
Turn up the music. They're playing my song.
Yeah.
You know that one.
As soon as I heard turn up, I thought, well, turn up the music. Yep.
Okay, that's what I'm leaving you with.
We hope you enjoyed this songwriting episode. Maybe it even inspired you in some way. To end this episode, I know you want to hear one more songwriter's composition. The outro written and played by Ari's brother. Play them trombones, Ben Kelly.
As you know, this podcast started with me and my mom.
Hi.
Now we invited Chloe and Swara to join in for this season. And as you also know, they both were listeners just like you. So we hope you figured out that we welcome your talent. And yes, I am talking to you.
We also want you to know this takes a lot of time and effort to make, and we much prefer creating over advertising. Fortunately, the number of downloads and of you listening is growing every single day. And we know that's because you share an episode you love with someone you love. So thank you for being a part of our growth.
We also want to thank all of you who rate and subscribe. It means so much to us. And I want to read you this awesome one left by Snowy Mountain with Cherries. Terrific name, by the way. She wrote, "Love it. I just wanted to say I love your podcast, and my name is Nia, and I'm 10. Well, hi, Nia. It's great to meet you. Thank you so much for rating and reviewing. And I noticed you changed what you wrote, and I like both versions so much. And between you and me, I think it's one of the nicest things that people have ever done for this podcast.
Thank you all so much for joining us for Season 3 of At Your Level. To all you awesome kids that lent us your voices, thank you, and keep it coming. AtYourLevelPod.com has tons of ways you can participate.
So thank you, Miss Lynn of the Good Words podcast. Miss Lynn sings and associate producer of What If World.
Hold up. One more thing. We love getting stuff from all of you on the website. Now, if you leave an awesome idea, like ciphers and secret note writing as an episode topic, you gotta join us and help make the episode because I don't know anything about it. But clearly, you do. Reach out, okay?
Thank you to each and every kid that answered our songwriting question and played along. And a huge thank you to the very talented Laurie Berkner for being on our podcast. It's been a great honor to have you.
Seriously, I want to second that and say thank you to Laurie Berkner too. I think it's super cool for kids to learn your process, and I really enjoyed meeting you. We bid you adieu. After all, you did hear the outro, but just for fun, we stuck in a little nugget of joy. More from Laurie Berkner. Okay, so last thing. Is there anything you'd like me to share with the audience about you?
Great. I guess I would just say one of the things that has always been really good for me is to follow the things that I like. And if I like them and they're working, I just keep doing them. And it doesn't matter how other people see it or what they think of it, or if it feels like it's working and I like it, then things have worked out pretty well for me. So I would just say that maybe that's something that could be helpful to people listening, like to believe in yourself enough to be able to follow the things that work and that you like to do, and don't let other people stop you from doing it.
Very good advice. Okay.
Promo. Getting ready for the promo. Gotta talk fast.
Hi, I'm Molly.
And I'm Mitzi, and we want to tell you all about our podcast, Mystery Recipe from America's Test Kitchen Kids.
It's about cooking.
And it's jam-packed with trivia, science, and of course, food.
Each week features a different kitchen ingredient,
which all leads up to a grand finale cook-along.
Will you be able to guess what our mystery recipe is?
Listen to Mystery Recipe today, anywhere you get your podcasts. And until then, keep on cooking. Did it! 30 seconds went so